Have you ever felt your automatic transmission jerk, delay its shifts, get stuck in one gear, or go into limp mode? A lot of people immediately think the transmission is damaged. They replace the fluid, swap solenoids, or even send the whole transmission out for repair. But many times, the problem can come from two very important sensors: the transmission input speed sensor and the transmission output speed sensor. And if you don't understand how they work or how to test them, you can end up spending a lot of money replacing parts that were never the real problem. That's why in this video, I'm going to explain the symptoms these sensors can cause when they fail, and the tests you can perform with a scan tool, a multimeter, and an oscilloscope to diagnose them like a professional. First, let's understand what these sensors actually do. The input speed sensor, also known as the turbine speed sensor, measures how fast the transmission input shaft is spinning. This information helps the computer understand what is happening inside the transmission after the torque converter. The output speed sensor measures the speed of the transmission output shaft, which is the speed being sent toward the wheels. With these two signals, the computer can calculate gear ratio, detect internal slipping, control shifting, and decide when to apply the torque converter clutch. When one of these sensors fails, the symptoms can be very noticeable. The transmission may shift harshly, shift late, or shift at the wrong time. It may also get stuck in only one gear, usually second or third gear, as a protection strategy. This is what many people call limp mode. Another common symptom is loss of power. The engine RPM may go up, but the vehicle may not accelerate the way it should. You may feel jerking during acceleration or a hard engagement when shifting into drive or reverse. On some vehicles, the speedometer can also stop working, especially if the computer uses the output speed sensor signal to calculate vehicle speed. Now let's go over the tests. The first test is with the scan tool, checking live data. You want to look for the input speed sensor, turbine speed sensor, output speed sensor, or vehicle speed reading, depending on how your scan tool displays it. When the vehicle is stopped, the output speed sensor should usually read 0 because the wheels are not moving, but during a road test, that reading should increase smoothly as the vehicle moves. If the vehicle is moving but the reading stays at 0, you need to suspect the sensor, the wiring, the reluctor wheel, or even the computer. For the input speed sensor, the reading should make sense compared to engine RPM and transmission operation. If the signal drops out for a moment, the computer can get confused and cause erratic shifts, harsh engagement, or force the transmission into protection mode. The second test is a visual inspection. Disconnect the sensor and check for transmission fluid inside the connector, corroded pins, loose terminals, broken wires, or a harness rubbing against the transmission or engine. Also inspect the tip of the sensor. Many of these sensors are magnetic and they can collect metal shavings. If there is too much metal debris stuck to the tip, the sensor may send a weak or irregular signal. Clean it well and see if the signal improves. The third test depends on the type of sensor. If it has 2 wires, it is usually an inductive sensor. In this case, you can measure resistance with a multimeter. Many inductive sensors may read somewhere between 300 and 1500 ohms, although the exact value depends on the manufacturer. If it reads open circuit, infinite resistance, or 0 ohms, the sensor is damaged. You can also set the multimeter to AC voltage and safely spin the wheels. The sensor should generate an AC voltage that increases as speed goes up. If it does not generate a signal, the sensor may be bad, the reluctor wheel may be damaged, or the air gap between the sensor and the reluctor wheel may be too large. If the sensor has 3 wires, it is usually a Hall effect sensor. Here you need to check power, ground, and signal. With the key on, the sensor should receive a power supply, which can be 5 volts or 12 volts depending on the system. The ground must be solid and should not have excessive voltage drop. The signal wire should switch between low and high as the shaft turns. The fourth test is with an oscilloscope. On an inductive sensor, you should see a sine wave. The frequency and amplitude should increase as speed increases. On a Hall effect sensor, you should see a clean square wave. If the signal cuts out, becomes distorted, or disappears for a moment, you need to inspect the sensor, wiring harness, connectors, sensor air gap, and the reluctor wheel. The fifth test is checking wiring continuity between the sensor and the transmission control module, or PCM. Disconnect both ends and measure continuity. Also check that there is no short to ground, short to power, or high resistance in the circuit.
Sometimes the sensor is good, but the wire opens when the engine moves, when the transmission gets hot, or when the harness vibrates. A very useful comparison is watching input speed and output speed at the same time during a road test. If input speed rises a lot, but output speed does not follow, there may be internal transmission slipping. But if the signal disappears and then comes back, the problem is more likely electrical, such as a bad sensor, connector, or wiring issue. If this video helped you, leave a comment below and tell me what problem your transmission is having and what vehicle you're diagnosing. Also, let me know if you want me to make a video showing these tests step by step with a multimeter and an oscilloscope. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell because here we learn real automotive diagnostics with real testing without replacing parts like crazy.